Hello, hello, most awesome Sims 2 fans, and welcome to the channel. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome, Sarah. I'm glad you got your plate of Jersey Mike's. That sounds delicious. I'm turning my own voice down on my telephone. Sometimes I hear my own voice in my head and it scares me a little bit. Sometimes it's good, and then other times I'm like, ooh, that's me. So how's everybody doing? What are we all playing this evening? Other than watching me on The Sims. Ooh, I turned my screen blue. So tonight, while I'm waiting for you all to answer me, I am over here at what we call the beach. The beach is part of my return to Pleasant View, and it's an extra, what is it called? Shopping district, because I needed more space. I typically didn't have a shopping district attached to that, but then Darren Dreamer married Cassandra Goth and they had twins, and I felt, where would his art gallery go? And this is supposed to be a little bit like Cape Cod or Martha's Vineyard over here. And so we have a couple places. This is a little hotel. I have the Seagull Island Shops. I'm sure I downloaded that off of Mod The Sims or somewhere like that. Surf's Up Surf Shop. And then this Victorian bed and breakfast, which I made out of one of the houses in our house bin. I also made Beachside Eats. And these were all older things that I've done, so there might be some messed up custom content. Hello, Isio Spothy. Thank you for joining us this evening. So what I was thinking is, so this is all we kind of have going on over here at the beach. So it's summer here, and I feel like we need some beachy stuff. So I'm thinking of, I don't know. Now, I think it's fall, so we have to come into summer here. But I'm thinking we need kind of a boardwalky kind of area. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of building. So that's where my head is. Let's see what this looks like over here. We can move it over. Oh my gosh, and it doesn't even reach the beach. What's wrong with you? I need it to reach the ocean is what I mean. It reaches the beach. It doesn't reach the ocean. Why is this giving me trouble now? Listen, you. I want our people to be able to go into the... Oh, you know why? It's because Tipsy Mommy was not going to the ocean lots. Okay, so I'm thinking it should be relatively long. It is the boardwalk. We don't want it to be too big. Now, I am using the Lazy Duchess mod in here that was based off of Will's mod so that we don't get pink soup. So I, of course, can put any size lot I want, theoretically, here. But in case somebody wants to upload it, I want to be a little bit kind. So I think we'll start, maybe we'll start it over this way. Okay, and then if we get bored of this, I was thinking we need to build like a nice little like beach house. All right, so this is going to be a community lot. Hey, Sarah. As long as I've been playing The Sims 2, I still learn new things about the game every day. Oh, yeah, me too, Sarah. I feel like, you know, I'm today years old and I learned something. All right, so we're going to do community lot, and we're just going to call this one Boardwalk 1 to start. We might change its name like Boardwalk East or something. Okay, so we're going to come in here. I recently learned all kinds of things about witches. I don't know if any of you play occults. I almost never do. And I didn't know about the reagents and all that kind of stuff. So in my Curse of River Blossom Hills, it was the first time I really got into witches. They're very interesting. I did a new default for the phones not too terrible long ago, and I can't figure out where I placed it to pull them out so I could have the old phones back. Oh well. Is there anything you learned recently, Sarah? You can share that with us. All right, I'm thinking this style base here, the column deck, is best for a boardwalk style. No, let me think. Okay, I'm thinking maybe we could do a little car park over there. Maybe. I don't know. We're going to just kind of start building and we'll deal with it then as we go. So what have I done? All right, I do think we got to pull it back a little tiny bit because we're going to need steps. Oh, Sarah says, yes, I didn't know there were ocean lots. Yes, I know, right? Believe it or not, that's one of those things that's like, yeah. What happened there? All right, let's see how far we can. Oh, okay, so we can pull it so far down, then we can't go that far onto the beach. So there is a thing called the lot adjuster. I'm going to blow everybody's mind now. That if you have the lot adjuster, I can actually turn the ocean off. And then we would be able to build into the ocean, which would kind of be interesting. I don't think we're going to do it. Okay, so we could kind of build down to here. I don't feel like the boardwalk comes down that far. Let's see. We're gonna open this up here. Give me a second, guys. Let's see. Does anybody have a favorite boardwalk that they used to go to as kids? I was a Rehoboth, Delaware girl. That was my boardwalk. Yeah, so back in the 80s. Ethiospathy says, I think the best thing I learned was toddlers can eat pet food if they get hungry, but they will also sleep in pet beds when sleepy. Took me a long time to find one for my to find one of my toddlers. I know. Like some of that kind of crazy stuff that Sims do. I didn't know for a long time that they could do that till I saw the toddler eating out of the pet food bowls. And I was like, what the world? I recently had a glitch. I got a mod for better butlers or something. No, it wasn't even the butlers. It was the... Istiospathy said, not a boardwalk, but a beach at Siesta Key. Sarah is saying, I feel like it's so random when toddlers can escape their cribs as well. I teach them to walk, but they still don't escape. I'm not sure how to control it. I cannot tell you that at all because babies and toddlers still terrify me to this day in The Sims 2. I think they are terrors. If I could change the times like you can in Sims 3, it would be like babies one day, toddlers a half a day. They're always crying in my builds and whatever. They make me want to cry. They really do. It's very scary. Do you guys like babies and toddlers? Am I the only one scared of them or that they like make me sweat? All right, so I think we need, just looking at old pictures of old boardwalks, we need like light wood. I'm not sure that's quite it, but it's got to be light like that. I think it's got to be more, oops, my bad. Anyway, so I get this mod that allows apartments to have anybody from your town so that you don't get too many people in your town, because you know if you have too many people it can corrupt your town. So in your apartments you can have anybody move in. So I have this real fancy apartment And the people who are moving in are like, I don't know, burglar moves in, and it looks like a police officer. So I have this really rich lady move in, and she gets a, oh, what is it called? A butler. And the police keep showing up to this apartment. And it's a new build, so I'm play testing it. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, why is this happening? I must have a mod in here, or the build is wrong. And I keep tearing it down and putting it back up and putting all the people back in. And here I see the butler making a call finally to the police. And here I think he's doing prank calls, but it's because the burglar was living in the building. Sarah is saying, I usually avoid playing with children. I turn aging off. I build a big park and the children never show up, probably because there aren't any in my neighborhood. I love that, yes. The children totally petrify me. I get it. I do play with children, but I cry the whole time that I have them. And I have a new neighborhood that I'm aging them all up really, really quickly because I find them horrible. I mean, I am trying, for real, I am trying to going through time really quickly, but that's been my most fun, is because I don't have to keep them children very long. Maybe this one. Yeah, okay, I think that's kind of old boardwalky, maybe. Zara goes, amen, sister. I am so with you guys. Oh, maybe that one. Okay, that could work. Can we turn it? Shifty. Ooh, that looks like kind of rustic boardwalk. I wish it was a little longer. Like these, see how they're like nice long boards? I know, I get, I call it ACDC, but it's really OCD about like weird stuff. Oop. I don't know. We'll have to come back to it. We're gonna leave it this color gray for now. Otherwise, I will go through 100 shades of gray. Because Ithias Bazzi said, I really haven't done kids full-heartedly since the satellite incident of 2000. Oh my goodness. Spothy, I'm so sorry. Spothy had a terrible satellite incident when she was a child. She was a teenager. I'm going to tell the story, okay, Spothy? So she told the story that when she was young, she had gone crazy making the perfect family, and she made the perfect, most beautiful teenage sim in 2004 when The Sims 2 first came out, and she was a teenager. And she went out and laid on the grass to stargaze or to cloud gaze, and within minutes, the satellite fell out of the sky and killed her sim. And she doesn't remember if you couldn't, if she didn't know that you didn't have to save, or you couldn't not save, but death came and her sim was dead and she just quit, and that was it. So that's her terrifying story of, I feel like, yeah, so that was, I don't know, Sarah, if you have terrifying stories of Sims. It's a 2% chance, this Yospathi's saying. A 2% chance. I'm sorry, Theospathi, sad phase. Okay, so what we're doing first is I need to grab a picture here. I want to do The Sims 3. You know that little haunted house that you walk through? I want that right here. And we're going to make it either a diner or something, maybe a place where the kids can go and hang out and do video games. But I think that would be perfect on a boardwalk. Sarah says, none comes to mind, but the satellite detail is very funny. You see, everybody feels the pain. Alright, so we want to make this, if I remember correctly, I do have to go get a picture of it, but we want it to be relatively kind of squarish. We'll get there. Okay, it's a square rectangle. Okay, and then we want, all right, I am gonna have to get a picture because I'm trying to do this from memory. Sims 3 haunted house. Sims 3 images. Give me an image. That's not it. Okay, there it is. Oh, okay, it was a lot littler than my little brain memory remembered. Okay, so, well, we can make it littler. Okay, so it'd probably be better this way then. I just thought that would be cute on a pier or something, as like, we don't have any real haunted houses for our Sims 2, but like I think. Okay, so it just has a very little, so this would have to be more. Okay, and we know we could actually extend this a little bit more. Okay. Now, of course, the haunted house was a little bit more kind of square-ish. I guess we could square it up a little bit. So if we say it should come a little bit more this way, that kind of, it might even need to be a little tiny bit smaller, but that works. And because what we could do then is, then there's a back entrance too. Sorry, sometimes when I'm building, my brain is thinking off, you know what I mean? It thinks and... Okay, so we want to make this a little bit smaller. And I want it to go through here. The brain when you're building. It's like, oh, I must build this way. And it's like, nope, I want to build that way. Okay, do we like it kind of that size? I'm thinking as I'm looking at this, it could probably be even a little tinier. All right, let's do this. Let's do the build up, because it needs to be at least 2 stories. So Ithios, Bathi, and Sarah, what do you guys like to play in your Sims? And is Sims 2 a favorite or a different life sim game? Okay, so we got that. And... to do creepy roof. I think before creepy roof, we would need there's technically like another level here. Okay. Kind of like that. I mean, I guess that's okay. Does not seem too terribly menacing. All right, let's see what it looks like after creepy roof. I'm thinking we might need to go up one more level. We'll see after creepy roof. All right, so for creepy roof, is that a corner? Outer corner. Corner. All right, and then I think these were the main pieces for creepy roof. Oh, that works. There we go. We're probably not going to keep this roof color, but this is just kind of to see if we like how it's going to sit. So a lot of times I will even build almost an entire structure. You're going to hear about my mind of madness. I will build the entire structure and then tear it down and redo it, because then it gives me ideas. I know. It's strange. Ethiospathy says, with playing The Sims 2 and 3, I've been trying to play outside my comfort and to learn a lot. Like, I had a single dad in 3 that liked to party and would kill the buzz when the baby would cry after a night out. That is hysterical. So the baby would be a buzzkill technically. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I'm feeling like maybe that's very funny. That buzzkill baby, how could he? I'm thinking maybe we need to build back one more. Then I'm gonna go that way. Oh dang. If I do it up another level, we have to do a cheat. Ethiospathy says, yep. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the baby was the buzzkill. I love it. All right, so let me get my cheats out. So we're going to learn things today, gang. Let me get my cheats. So in The Sims 2, you can only build up, I don't know how many people know this, you can only build up 4 levels. But there's a cheat to change that. So I always keep my cheats on a Microsoft Word document so that I don't have to keep looking them up. So if you type in set highest allowed level. I don't remember if I have to type in the bullprop cheat before this, but we're going to type in 8. Let's say I wanted to build 15 or 20 stories. I could, but the more you go up, the worse your camera becomes and the more glitches you end up with. Okay, so then we're going to hit enter. Maybe we're not going to hit enter. Enter. All right, now, if the cheat had not worked, I would have gotten a bunch of gibberish on my screen, and you can see that the screen is fine. So hopefully we can go up another level, and you see it's not letting me, which means it technically didn't work. So we're going to try Shift Control C. Cool. Prop. Testing. Cheats. Enabled. True. Okay, we're going to try this again. You can just hit your back arrows to see what you've typed in before. Okay, we're going to try this again. And it still didn't let me do it. So now supposedly, we go into roofs, you go into dormers. Can't intersect. Yeah, it's still not letting me. All right, so we're gonna go out and come back in. We're gonna save, and we'll go back. You see, the cheats don't always work, but if you've seen any of my builds that, you know, I did 10 stories or whatever, that's what's supposed to work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And you can clearly see that it's not working. Otherwise, this, I'd be able to go up higher. You see how I can go down? I could keep going up. Oh, it's just not working. All right, well, then we're not gonna stress about that right now. It's fine. We don't have time to keep messing with it. I'm not sure why it's not working. Set highest allowed number. Let's try it one more time. Oh, it didn't work that time. Okay, supposedly that worked. Save. And some of this could just be because I have so many cheats going on in my game. Nope, it's not gonna let me do it. That's fine. We just won't. So what I'm thinking here then is, because we do need it to be to look higher. How could I make this look higher? Let's see if anybody has any ideas, let me know, since my stuff is not working. So this could be technically. Okay, so instead of just doing that, we can try. Sometimes I do this. Okay, and then we could do the pieces. Now you know why I build and then knock everything down. Because then you get to kind of see, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? I will eventually It might take hours of time, but I'll eventually figure out why that isn't working. Okay, so that's how it's going to look for now. I will figure it out, trust me. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at that for now. All right, and then what we need is we need some yucky wallpaper, some big old windows. Let's see what I got for big windows with big shutters or something. Let's see. Nothing like that. No, they should be bigger. Yeah, or we could do two, one here and like one there. Kind of colors, colors. That could work. Okay. And then we need the same ones. Shift Control C, and we're going to do move objects. Move objects on. That's my ride or die cheat. I live and die for move objects. Okay, and then we're going to do... I don't like that one. We'll have to figure out something else for over the door. Okay, and then our door should be like old and brown. Not brown enough. Be something like that, maybe. Okay, that could work. And we need a couple pieces of columns. A couple of old columns, guys. They're too big. This one's too big. That one's too small. That looks old. Maybe the wrong color. Maybe like something like that. And then we can... Okay, and we need some sort of roof. Can't intersect the object. Don't be giving me that. What object is it intersecting? Don't ask me why that was the object it was intersecting. Sometimes when you're building. Okay, and then we're going to lower this little thing, and look, our little roof gets squishy. Hello. Window, behave. So one thing I have learned is windows and things will mess with our stuff, so we do need to kind of do them sometimes after the fact. So we're gonna look up yucky siding. So I'm thinking like the stuff that's on like the goth house, it's gonna work for right here. Oh, is there a reason why? So we'll just stick that right there. And then in the picture, like sometimes they're brown, sometimes they're yellow. Does anybody have an opinion on what color our siding should be? I'm figuring our roof should be black and black. Isn't the haunted house gray shingles? Okay. Yeah, some of the pictures it shows that they're actually different colors. I don't know if maybe that came after the fact. So we'll do gray. See what we got with gray siding. Maybe like distressed gray. We have distressed blue. That's not gray enough. You could do black. Like that. I think that might be a little too dark. I mean, we could do it like the goth house. And there's basic gray, but that's not creepy enough, I don't think. I mean, you could do it like gray. Oh, that's more brown. Don't they understand we need haunted house coloring? There's like gray again. A little bit more blue. Whitish. Let's try it like dark brown. One of the pictures here shows dingy yellow. I think that's going to be too much. No, it's not going to work. What do we got here in dingy? Dingy siding. I got kind of... Oh, I do have yellow. Nope. We could do blue. Green. I have dark blue. We got the black. We could probably do like a brick even. Let's look at our yucky brick. Could maybe do creepy dark brick. I'm gonna do the scallops on the front. What do we think? I feel like we don't have the right kind of siding. Do I have... No, that's not right. We could do something like that bottom brick too. You think the siding needs to be dark? Dark like... I feel like it needs to be dark and decrepit. Like that? Bless you. bless you again. Yep, agreed. That works. Okay, so we're doing that black. All right, and do we like the roof color in the black scallops, or do you like the green? Yeah, we're going to do boarded up windows. I've got the boards. Don't worry, you know my favorite is the boards. So you could do the dark red roof. It was just that the roof was originally black. Do we like the black scallop roof? Okay, we're doing black. So we gotta go around the roof. And for now, because we can't get the elevation sheet to work properly, it's going to be squatty. We will fix... Oh, you know why? It probably is because it's on the boardwalk. It's fine. I will fix that, I promise, eventually. Because we just have to go up one level and do the roof. If you guys go and you look at the picture, it has this funky little top piece, which is cute. But we will fix that, I promise. I have to do that off of camera because it's probably going to take some cheats and finagling, which will take a couple of hours. And you don't want to you don't want to watch me do that. All right, so we need to... So I want in the front here, this should be that goth siding. And I feel like this should probably be the goth siding. And this. Just so that's a little different. So it delineates from some of the other stuff. Okay, and then this... Whoop. And then this is going to be our roof. And this piece will like I said, once I get it fixed, that's going to change. Okay. And then we need a window up top here. Oh, let's see. Not shutters, a window. All right, let's see if the roof trick works. Our roof trick is up, down, down. It didn't work. All right, probably if I delete the wall, I can try something else. Never fear, there's always another trick. Until you're on camera and then it doesn't work. Okay, so we can get rid of that. Excuse me, place the window. Can't intersect. Oops. Yay! See what I mean? Always another trick, guys. Okay. So now this is like as you're walking down the boardwalk. You know how you walk down the boardwalk and you want to come in. All right, so now we need whatever I did with these. So let's see. Not long enough. Better. Nope. Ew, okay, so we could do... Alright, do we like that color, or should they be maybe... They could be darker, like aged? Oh, I kind of like that one better. There we go. That kind of looks good. Okay, there's your boarded up windows. That would be a different board. No. Okay, I think that is not going to have a board. We could use that little one. That's kind of weird. Alright, and then the color that we like is, maybe we could use a different color. Oh look, I can buy viewers. So I kind of like that. And then let's go back here. Oh, this is the one I'm looking for. There. And we can have like that little concrete bit right there for the entry. Alright, so not all the windows on the house were boarded up. So we don't have to do all the windows. So we can think about, so there should probably be like there, there, there. There, there. That. There we go. All right, now for the back. The back you're also going to see like as you're walking down the boardwalk. So I feel like that should also be like another front, or it should be something. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it needs to be Ethos Bhatia is saying it's looking good. So like if you were coming down, let's say you're driving down the boardwalk, driving down past, so you're coming down and you're like, Mom, Dad, I want to go. So what would the back of this look like? Maybe like exactly like the front, maybe. Okay, we're going to do like the creepy sunroom, I think, and then the graveyard. So what would the front look like, guys? I want. I don't know what I want. I should have in here somewhere broken windows. What Sims 4 to 2 pack had broken windows? Was it the Life and Death pack? Yeah, it was these. So like these, but broken. This is why I use custom content, gang. People always ask me, why do you use custom content? I'm like, because it's there. It's like Christmas. Once I find new custom content, I am always so excited. So look, we've got all these great broken windows for the solarium. Sorry. I get excited over ridiculousness. All right, so we got the solarium. Okay, and since nobody said what they're thinking for the front, I guess we will just do a repeat. How many? There's just 2, right? That's 3, so I need to keep 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so technical. Okay, so this can come off. We're gonna get, I don't know where I was going. So we're gonna delete. Okay, now I think I can put that back here. But our roof has to change. I think that's gonna go there, yes. And we want a regular corner there, regular corner there, and I don't think I need that. All right, sorry, I'm thinking out loud to my little own brain. Okay, so we have the same, so we're gonna have the same front and front, because you'd want to have it looking the same as you're driving by, I think, or similar. You guys can let me know if you disagree, because I will change it, but I am just thinking out loud. Like, if you were at the beach and you wanted people to come in, you know, you'd want them to pass it like going, and then you'd want them to be like, Mom, Dad, we want to go in, sort of, and then when they came up on the boardwalk, as they're going this way, I kind of feel like we could have a back, but I think if it was like theme-ish, you'd have it on both sides. I don't know. I mean, it's not like a theme park that I could hide it, the back. I mean, we could just do a regular back. Ethiospathy is coming through with I agree. So we're gonna keep my idea. I was just thinking, if I was a business owner, I would probably just do like a front and a back similar, so that people would want to come in on both sides. You know what I mean? The exit and the entrance would mirror each other. I mean, unless we had a creepy back idea, which personally I don't have a creepy back idea. If somebody has a creepy back door idea, let me know. It looks like a boardwalk. You could have a haunted house and the duck race next to it. Oh no, now you're gonna have to send a picture of duck race. You mean like what kind of duck race? You mean like one of those games? Like an arcade game duck race? I don't remember duck race. I'm gonna have to look that up, I think. I meant it's okay not to have a theme. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. You know me. If they had it, boy, I had bumper cars and whatever next to this. I'd be having fun. Unfortunately, you know, Sims 2, they never did anything like that, which I'm a little sorry. I can find, like, some stuff that kind of mimics. I think they have some, like, carnival type stuff that I could download and stick on our boardwalk eventually. But I thought the haunted house would definitely work on a boardwalk. Even if we make this like a restaurant, like the haunted house restaurant, it would work. Everybody wants to go to the haunted house restaurant. I would anyway. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm going to the haunted house restaurant. I'd be bugging my kids. I'd be like, kids, we gotta go haunted house restaurant. All right. Oh, cancel. We do want to save. We want to save because we're already like an hour in. Alrighty. So now what we want is, so you figure you're driving by. Oop, I don't know where my thing is. So if you're driving by, this is, you know, you're going to see this, and you know, we could put a sign or whatever as your kids are driving by the boardwalk or whatever. So even if we decide it's a restaurant, because then I'm thinking in the dead middle here, we could have it come in a little bit, and that could be, you know, like those crappy bathrooms that you always have, and showers should be somewhere here. And then we could have like an arcade, because we have all the stuff for an arcade. We could have then we could have like a thing where you could eat. I mean, if this was a restaurant, we could also have like one of these stands but covered. You know what I mean? But if we put like the big bathrooms here, because then our people can go out here and go on the beach, but then come up here to the bathroom and get showers, and then we could have like maybe 2 of these. Because, you know, you wouldn't want to go in a restaurant and be like the hot dog stand that we would put undercover over there. You know how the beach is. And then, you know, you'd have those, give me a sec. you know how you have the benches on the beach? There's always those, like, the benches. I mean, typically I think they're not pointed. Some of them are pointed this way and some of them are pointed that way. You know what I mean? And like I said, here you'd have the bathrooms. And then we could do like maybe an arcade. But you'd want to keep this all free because then your next, well, I guess because of where it is here, we could, because that's the end of it. You could put an arcade here. But typically, you know, you want to keep like the walkway free because then the next thing would be maybe a clothes stand. Do we think we want this to be a restaurant? Another cheat I'm going to use is that we can do 45-degree angle. So once you stick that in, oh look, we can tilt them. Another favorite cheat is this one. It's called Bullprop Snap Objects to Grid False. Now this one, you have to turn it on and off constantly. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. So we're gonna tilt it, but look. So then it's off the grid, but I could kind of set it back over here. And I could put that one there. And so I love this because then we don't have to, we can set it like closer. Doesn't that look great? And we can set up our little graveyard. We can move these up a little tiny bit. Like to have like a darker, more evil look to our graves. Go. That looks kind of good. Okay, now we want to turn that cheat off because it will mess everything up. You just type in true and it's off. Okay, now because we are on the boardwalk, I should have something that looks like grass. This might be too cheery for a graveyard, but you get the gist. We will find something, like we could even just do dirt. I think that's a little too much. The bottom of a basement, it says. come back over here. I feel like I don't really have anything quite right for a graveyard. I'm thinking the dirt is the most appropriate. Alright, so we're going with dirt in general, I think. I think that was the one I liked the best. Yes, the mounds of dirt. Alright, and then we should be able to get like okay, I know that they're a little bit big, but I think just in general that kind of works for a graveyard. You're not going to be able to walk in here anyway. And I think that sells the idea of the abandoned graveyard next to whatever this is going to be. There, what do we think? The creepy abandoned graveyard. Blah. Okay, and again, we could do this as an arcade, a restaurant. I think it's big enough to be a restaurant. Kind of an interesting thematic haunted restaurant. Alright, now we're going to do our crappy bathrooms. Which probably could be a little bit bigger, but part of me feels like we don't really want to take up that much room, do we? Sorry, I was looking at pictures. Ithios Bhatti put she loved the graveyard. Thank you. I was looking at old pictures of the beach. All right, so we want here, we want like one here and one there maybe. I just wasn't sure how to do the roof. I think for this one, we're just going to do one of these roofs. I don't remember. I haven't been to Rehoboth, Delaware in a long time. I don't think that was it. We're just going to do one of these type of roofs, and it's going to be squatty. Okay, and I'm looking for like just large blocks. Like something like that, maybe. I mean, they would have been more yellow, but I don't know if I have them. Oh, I do. Yeah, like that. That's it. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, and I think my doors are okay. All right, then tile. I am looking for green. I usually make these things disgusting. I won't do that this time. I mean, I'd like to, but Ithios Bhatti, since you're still here and you're still talking, do you think our thing should be a arcade, or I could put the arcade here? Or do you think it should be a restaurant? Like a themed restaurant. Arcade and food stand. Well, the food stand was going over here. You mean like this kind of food stand, or like a food stand that was like a restaurant-y? You know what I mean? Like that had a restaurant podium. Yeah, like you have. Okay, do you want the arcade here or in the haunted house? That feels like a boardwalk. It does, doesn't it? What in the haunted house? The arcade or the restaurant? Yeah, of course you can put creepy lights. The arcade. Okay, yep. Yep. We can do that. Okay, so we've got the bathrooms here. So we're just setting up right now. Okay, so Spotty said, because she's here talking, she wants creepy lights and stuff. So this would be like an arcade. I mean, it would have, typically I'd make it like a walk-through haunted house, like a ride or something. But since we don't have that, we're going to make it the kids' arcade. Then we've got the bathrooms. Then we're going to have the food stand. Then we technically have enough room here. I mean, we could always move these over a little tiny bit. And we could do like, you know how at the beach you've got those, it's almost like a mall kind of thing. And you have the food, and then maybe like a place where you could buy bathing suits. You know what I mean? Atheist Buddy is going, yeah, I'm loving this. Okay, so this is what we're thinking. We're thinking we're going to move these down just a hair. Like this. And then what we need to do is we need to actually build like the little mall. Okay, so it would be okay, so we're gonna go so we're gonna say it's about here, and then we're gonna go here. All right, so that's going to be the food stand one. And then we could basically, then this would be the one where you buy the bathing suits. Right, then what we want here is this is where you're coming up onto the boardwalk. All right, so we got that. Now, technically, I'm thinking usually these places were very colorful. I don't know how they are now, but back in my day, like they would have probably been like blue. Let's do. So we're going to start with and these might come out a little tiny bit further. Let's see. What do I got here? Now, well, stucco. Okay, so we need like a blue, like a dark blue. Yeah, like that. Maybe even brighter, but we're gonna start with this. Okay, and then maybe like, okay, so it should be out like one more. Okay, and then we want blue everywhere. And then you need, this is just temporary. We're just going to throw these out here because the, they used to have these big, like, awning things. If you go and you look it up, what the roofs used to look like, they were kind of like crazy, kind of bump out. I don't know if we can get the same effect, but we're going to try. We only have a half hour left, so I'd like to try to get some of the stuff done. Like, at least the outline. Yeah, I'm thinking that. Yep, there we go. All right, and that should be... this. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Then... I know, I'm strange. Okay, and then it should be like... I feel like that's too big. Like, they always had these funky slanted roofs. Let's try something like that. Maybe something like that would work. That's not exactly right, but I'm telling you, there used to be these weird, like, funky, slanty. If you go and look up Rehoboth, Delaware, just look up the shops, and I'm telling you, it was like they had these like funky, slanty, weird roofs. Okay, we're going to do like maybe our cracked stuff here and put on top, on the rooftop. And then, okay, I'm gonna not get into being my usual perfectionist. We're gonna keep going because it's already 6:56 and we don't have that much time. Maybe like, just so there's a little bit more contrast, we'll do white. Okay, and okay, then we want okay, so it should look like that. What are we thinking, peeps? And then you would have had looking like a boardwalk. I now want fries. It's gonna be open soon. Okay, so here. I thought maybe we could stick it up there and we can't, but this is what we'll do. Look. Look, we're going to put the surfboards. It's looking surf shoppy. All right, so what I'm thinking here is okay, and then I feel like the pillars kind of give it a little bit of weight. And we're not going to get, like I said, we're not going crazy on the decorating because we don't have that much time. We're just going to throw a couple of things in here and then I'll go back later. Usually I use this kind of stuff. I use, oh, this will be great. I'm thinking even like for the bathrooms out front here. That looks cute. Look at that. It's giving you that nautical feel, right? Okay, so we got, I think we should put, you know, a fan in here, you know, my builds. No fan or air conditioning, could be trouble. Okay, and then we come in here and we'll go to this. And I'm thinking just because it's like just a beach shop, you know what I mean? That we just use like some colorful, you know what I mean? Like, you know how they do, that it's kind of out front a little bit. You know, you got like a couple of things out here. And then there'd be like something inside like that. Okay, then we got the H&M stuff here. So, what is this? Show me more. I guess that's just a counter. Anyway, what I was thinking is it might be cute. No, we want, no, I wanted like bright colors, you know, like, because it's got sandals. You see the sandals, the beachy sandals? And I just thought like it just might be kind of cute, you know, as you're coming in, you know how people look at all the stuff, the beachy stuff. All right, so we kind of got the idea how this is going to play out up here. I mean, that looks like a little beachy shop, right? That you go in and buy your bathing suits or your t-shirts, right? I don't think they have any bathing suit pictures. I mean, we could do like, I don't know, cute little dress. Like something like that. That's kind of cute. Okay, there's some of our beach wear, guys. Look at our beachy wear. What do you think? We're looking awesome at the beach. It really looks like a boardwalk. I love it. Thank you. All right, then in here, we would want the same black here and here. I don't know if we're going to end up upstairs yet, but for sure we're going to have down here. Okay, and we take that out and then maybe put an archway. So we definitely want to let this kind of stuff in here. Okay, so you'd come in, you know, and you would play the games because the windows are all boarded up. So now on the outside there, they're not boarded up, but we are going to board them on the inside so that it's very dark in here. Alright, and then we can get rid of this. And I got stuff everywhere here. Alright, so we've got Jaws, we've got Batman, it looks like. Go back here. And then we got the space thingy there. Then over here, could put these type. Okay, and they would go like right next to each other. Like maybe we put like 3 of these. And then 3 of these. Like that. Okay, and then what we need is some seating. Right, and tables. what I want. Coffee tables. Let's do this. Check this out, guys. Ithios Bhati said she wants creepy lighting. It's ghostly. Right, and then what could we do for people in the solarium? The arcades when I was young used to be huge. My brother used to make me spend so much time in an arcade. I still dream of the Pac-Man music. Also, Dragon's Lair was really big back then. The key is over there. Yes. I lived in the eras of Pong and Pac-Man. We thought we were so cool. So anyway, but everything was kind of neon. So I feel like here are our stuff. We should have the neon lights. And that should be it. We'll put some music in here because I also worked in like an under 21 nightclub. It was very fun. All right, and let's get some music. What do we got here? Hip hop. It wouldn't have been hip hop. Salsa. Nope. Nope. No, it could have been metal, but it would have been pop. Trust me on this. Okay, so, and I think out here, maybe what we'll do is, Spothy's gonna love this. We are going to do blackout curtains. Yep, she's gonna love it. Spothy, wait till you see what I'm doing. Here, wait. Look at this, Spothy. This is the arcade. She put, yep, I love it. All right. All right, so in here, because this is 2004 and not 1989 with, or 86 with Tipsy Mommy, we would put here. We'll see if she knows what I'm doing. She's gonna figure it out eventually. as I bang the mic. Spotty, did you figure it out yet? Yeah, so it's kind of be like, you know, when you could do what's it called? Tournaments or whatever. Yep, so like a gaming center. All right, then we are also going to put in here, they are going to need snacks. What do we think, Spothy? She's saying she would game there. Guys will have to let me know. Is this game worthy? So my brother, he used to be one of those people, he didn't really like to be out in the sun and stuff. So he would be in the arcade for hours. Now, we did not have computers in the 80s or whatever, but we had video games. So, but you know, if you had computers, so here's supposed to be like the tournaments and stuff over there. Now, we did used to have like, you know, under 21 stuff, and we had a under 21 like bar area. You know, cool, interesting things like that. Kind of like that. It's kind of weirdly trippy. Oh, I wanted a second rug. Excuse you. So I'm feeling like, you know, this should be like that. Like kind of that cool under 21 kind of place where everybody can go and hang out. What are you thinking, Spothy? You're envisioning yourself here?
Yep.
That's great. I love it. All right, Spothy has decided this is one that should be on the boardwalk at all times. Oh, you know what? I'm probably making this like too normal on the outside. Let's do something like this. What do I have that we could maybe make it a little bit more? I don't think that's gonna work. Alright, I think we're gonna have to put, I think, right, so one of Spotty's things was she wanted to see some creepy lighting coming from this build. So I think we're getting it. What do you think, Spotty?
It's feeling that creepy vibe. I love it.
Okay, so we got some creepy stuff going on here. All right, and I feel like we're gonna have to do something up here, maybe. But there, we got some creepy lighting going on for at night over here. All right, so we're winding down. But look, you got the blackout shade so you can't see anything. Your graveyard is creepy and lit up. I am feeling like there should be another lamp I can use. I usually use this in a lot of my builds just because it kind of illuminates and you can't see it. But you do have, like, look, you got that creepy glow. You're going to be able to see it coming down the boardwalk. We can probably use one of my signs here. It's hard at night to see which is black, but there you go. Look at, do we like the dark sign for the gaming center? And it lights up. And we can leave it there, or you could put it, you could put it up top further.
I think the roof.
Like the roof? Okay. Alright, and then this one is going to come over here. Behave yourself. Excuse you. I don't know why it's having a hard time on this side. It just does not want to belong there. Alright, for now it's going to sit there. We will change it. I feel like we need to have our creepy lights on the front. There just isn't enough light out front. We're going to have to put some lights on the front of the boardwalk when we put some fencing. Let's see if now it'll go up there. I don't know why it hates this side so much. Okay, there, we got it. We got it. There it goes. Okay, so we're going to turn the lights back on. We're getting ready to wind down. It will have, so this is what I'm thinking, it should have some ivy wrapped around it. Okay, we'll put like a creepy tree coming up the side. You know, there might be something, you know, on over here that would probably look good. I don't know. We'll fix it. We do have to finish our bathrooms. And we have to finish the rest of our shop. So I will leave this for the next time. And then I have to go look at pictures of, you know, how the rest of this should look. Because, like, you know, we want people to be able to walk here and, you know, finish shopping here. And then we want them to be able to come on the beach. So I'm thinking we need some lounge chairs. I mean, we're going to have steps coming down. And we're going to have lounge chairs and stuff. And, you know, we want our simmies to come out here and actually use this. So, but I mean, it really looks like a piece of a boardwalk, right? That was the whole thing. So that if I put this on my website and we made another piece of a boardwalk, you could put them next to each other and eventually have a boardwalk. What do we think?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're making it that way now. The only other thing is we have to come up with some ideas. So I'm going to go backwards here because now you see I decorated a little bit the bathrooms and this side, okay, and then we'll have to do something over here, okay, because and we could even put some road pieces. I have those pieces that spontaneously spawns the car, and some of this stuff here. I think I'm gonna spray everything with the sand, but you'd want like some of these things around so that it looks like sand dunes.
It looks like the grass, don't it?
Yeah, so like sandy grass and sand dunes. And we could have parking lot. So, we just got to think about how we want to finish it. So, I don't know. I keep saying this. So far, I've only been able to stream one night a week. Life is getting in my way. So, I will try to do it, maybe tomorrow night if I can. If not, for sure, next Tuesday. Okay? But I want to thank you guys all for watching. I love our pirate ship in the background. That looks great. That's perfect for this. But I want to thank you all for watching so much. I promise I will not work on this without you. I might get some ideas. If I can, I will fix the roof of this so that we can come up a little higher on my own. But I will at some point, even if it's not before the next time we stream. But I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all so much. I want to wish you happy simming, and bye-bye.